Hello everyone, today in this feature update, we shall discuss the enhancement done in the process master where you can now define the job rate without specifying the jobber, which makes the overall master management easy and flexible. Before we move forward to the system working, let's first understand why we introduced this change and the specific problems it solves. These are the key scenarios where this change becomes important. Scenario 1. In many organizations, jobbers are frequently shuffled even till the last moment. This makes it difficult to define jobber-wise rates in advance. Scenario 2. Some organizations have in-house jobbers where the same rate applies to everyone. In such cases, specifying rates for each jobber separately isn't practical. Currently, users have two options. 1. Define rates for every individual jobber, which is a time-consuming and cumbersome task, especially when the number of jobbers is large. Or, allow entry operators to manually enter rates while creating job orders, but this carries a risk of financial leakage if not properly reviewed. Now, let's move on to the system walkthrough. In this section, we'll cover the complete flow, from defining job rates to understanding their impact on transactions. We'll start by focusing on the cutting process. Currently, there are no rates defined for this process. Next, we'll define job rates using the Excel import utility. For this demo, we've already prepared the Excel file. It includes 3 SKUs for which job rates are defined in the cutting process and jobbers are not specified. Now let's upload the file now. File upload completes successfully. Now we'll verify the same in the process master. You can see a row without a jobber. We refer to this as a global row. Here, all rates have been updated. Next, let's see how this impacts transactions. For this, we've taken a cotton kurta item at a rate of 100 rupees. In the transaction, this 100 rupees should be picked as the job rate. As expected, the rate picked is from the item level, which is 100 rupees. Now, let's check if changing the jobber affects the rate. Even when I change the jobber, the system still correctly applies the global rate for this item, regardless of which jobber is selected. Now, let's look at a mixed scenario. Some organizations have agreements with specific jobbers, and for them, you can still set jobber-specific rates as before. Let's do this manually. We'll define a row for jobber A and assign a specific rate for the cotton kurta, which we used earlier, and set the rate as 150 rupees. Next, we'll create a job order using jobber A, and the system should pick the jobber-specific rate of 150 rupees instead of the global one. As expected, the system picks the rate of 150 rupees, which was defined in the process master. So, this was it for the first scenario. Let's explore scenario 2, where rates are based on subassembly items. In the Excel file, we've defined two types of subassembly items, front and back, for the same SKU, each with different rates. For those managing multiple SKUs, you can update rates for all SKUs in a similar way. In this example, we've used only 2 SKUs for simplicity. Now, we'll upload this Excel. Let's confirm these changes under the item rate option in the process master. For the back subassembly item, the rate has been updated to 100 rupees. And for the front subassembly item, the rate has been updated to 200 rupees. To validate, we'll create a job order and select the respective subassembly item. For this, we've already pre-created the working plan with the combination of the assembly item and subassembly. For that, we have taken a Nehru jacket, cotton blank. Here, the rate for the front subassembly item is picked as 200 rupees, and for the back subassembly item, the rate is picked as 100 rupees. Now, let's see what happens when we update the rate at the item level. We'll update the back rate to 110 rupees for the Nehru jacket cotton blank, and the front rate will be 210 rupees. This update affects all open job orders and receipts, but only for those jobbers who do not have a jobber-specific rate defined. Let's check for jobber A first. Here, no rate has been changed for both subassembly items, as this jobber already has a specific rate defined at the item level. Now, let's check for a different jobber that's not defined in the process master. Here, the rate for the front subassembly item has been updated to 210 rupees. And the rate for the back subassembly item has been updated to 110 rupees as we updated earlier. That's all for this video. I hope these enhancements make your process rate setup more flexible and easier to maintain. This video was brought to you by the Ginesys product team. For any questions, feel free to reach out to the Ginesys support team. Thank you for watching.